3, 2, 1. How green they are. Usually.
Probably.
Happy New Year, Pa.
When we last left you, I was making some feet, or rather backing plates, to install my davits. And I discovered I had to do a little bit more teak deck work before I could actually mount my davits. So later on that evening, me and Ben were able to get at least one side of the davit installed. And I got a new camera mount from my oldest brother, Jason.
Are you kidding me again? Holy crap. Just a fucking, it's a mangrove. He's just big. He's not that big. He's normal size. That's not the same one you caught before, Pa.
No, I know it's not.
That other thing you had was about 3 foot.
Yeah, that other one was a snook, I know it was. There's a nice mangrove here, though.
Yeah. Well, that's not a loss. Let me get the bucket full of water. Got it. All right.
Yeah, he's a bigger one, a little bigger.
So we are pushing for the names changing ceremony, but I have gotten a bit busier this week and can't spend as much time on the boat. So Ben, knowing that that's important, decided he'd step up and make sure that the name got scrubbed off the back. So that was freaking awesome. That keeps us on schedule, hopefully for a name change either this weekend or next weekend. Next weekend just might be better for all of us.
What'd you do?
Got up.
Oh, yeah. Cooker gets a draw knife. All day long. Cut away from yourself. Always cut away from yourself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, you got a pretty razor, too.
Yeah.
Also helps.
I don't use that part of the... Unless I'm taking limbs off. I've only had to do that twice, so...
Yeah, it's pretty razor. That's where the red dye's at.
Yeah, it's all layered in here.
Yep,
All that sap.
that's where the red is at.
What I'm gonna do, though...
You're gonna end up with looking like you're on a period. If you're not careful.
I don't think we're getting that orange, or that red. I think we're
No,
gonna...
I'm just talking about straddling that log.
Yeah, with my new shorts.
With your white shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben decided to make use of all that bishop wood that we had. He couldn't find no evidence of any kind of stain or anything being made on the internet. Well, for that reason, I figured we better just document this real well and show what it takes to make a stain out of a wood. I believe he's really hoping to get a red out of this bishop wood due to the fact that it was bleeding blood red. So, you know, chances are it's going to make a red stain, and probably not red, fire engine red, but, you know, earthy red would be ideal. So after boiling it all night, he's going to pour it off, strain it off, and basically just pack it full of more shavings from the bark and the inner bark, and then continue to boil that down and get it as concentrated as he can, basically.
So I moved the operation inside because it started to rain, but it's also just easier to see what I'm doing. Well, it's coming up kind of orangey on the camera, but it's actually more red. Ultimately is more red. And this is the first little bit of pigment I've been seeing out of it. And this might be the only existing evidence of bishopwood dye on the internet. Don't know.
So again, he pours it off and strains it out, and then he will pack it back full of more chips and boil it off longer and continue this process throughout the day.
So I measured all of our pieces to find out what the optimal depth is going to be. I can't have the masts go through the bottom and stick out the bottom. It's got to have enough material to stop that. I don't want to be too close to the bottom either. So I figured the schooners here have the shallowest hole depth, so 3/8 is the best, is the optimal. And since I don't want to reset the depth for every single boat, they're all going to be 3/8. And so here's a trick that every carpenter should already know, which is that when you're trying to set your depth on drilling anything, to mark it with a visible tape on the drill bit itself. So we're going to find where 3/8 is on this drill bit, which is the right size for the skewers we're using. We're just going to mark it at 3/8. Maybe at the full width of the bit, we're going to mark it at 3/8. And that'll do. And that way you just know to stop and not drill past the tape. Someone will probably ask, you know, there's a setting on the drill press, you can make it max out at a particular depth, so why not just set the setting on a drill press instead of using the tape method? Well, all three of the boat sizes are different. And it's just a quick method and a visual way to stop it. It doesn't have to be particularly accurate, just game pieces after all. If it was, you know, machining for anything that requires accurate measurement, then yeah, set the stop on the drill press. But for something like this, it's not necessary. Well guys, if you've never worked with oak before, it has bands of very hard sections and then porous sections. But it's a bastard to drill straight.
So I finally get the weekend off from work, and I figure I better get some projects done while I can. And Ben let me borrow his little planing device, which seems to work pretty good. Yeah, so it's Sunday, the 23rd of January, and it's like 54 degrees. I'm freezing my nuggets off down here in southern Florida. It's not supposed to get this cold. I'm moving further south. Okay, I am hitting something. Drilling into the fiberglass hole area. You pushed out you pushed out well, you pushed out a washer that's oh yeah. Can't have too much sealant. Come on with it. Take this one out. Go ahead. These three in. Through the doors. Okay. So let's start on the far back. Then we'll go here. We'll come around. All right. Good. Tighter and tight. Hell yeah!
Third pour. Go slow so it don't splash all over the place. Got kind of an orangey red, making the shirt a little salmon color. Now we'll get it back over to the range and get it reduced down to about 2 quarts, maybe 2 pints. Turns out I got 2 quarts and then some before this started to skin over on top. So I got more than enough to do what I need to do, which is to stain the game pieces that I'm working on, and possibly something else. So now the messy part comes getting this strained and into containers until it's time to use. Now it looks about the color that it came when it bled out of the tree. And once a fixative is added, it'll stick to just about anything. Somewhere between copper and blood. Still very, very hot. Effectively tie-dyed a t-shirt. That's the yield. Probably a gallon and a quart, maybe gallon and a half. Blah. Hey camera, how you doing?